It happened one evening the week before. Edyta was making coffee when she noticed three shadowy figures lurking outside her kitchen window.
One of them called, "Hey lady," and then called me a whore in Polish. Then he threw a stick through my window. My husband ran outside, but they were already gone.
Edyta and her family live on the outskirts of The Hague, in a district with many immigrants. Since the attack, she no longer feels safe here. The family came to the Netherlands 6 years ago. Edyta and Konrad work for a flour wholesaler. She earns the minimum wage of some €1,000. He's a forklifter operator on temporary contract with no benefits.
Why can't Poles get a steady job here? We have to go through a temporary agency. And if a Pole asks for a regular employment contract, he's fired. They're satisfied with our work, so why do they do that? It's ridiculous.
Małgorzata Baskarczewska came here 30 years ago. She runs Polonia NL, a website for the Polish community in the Netherlands. She's been hearing many accounts of threats, slashed tires, and other acts of harassment against the Polish community. She believes that harassment and discrimination have increased since the far-right politician Geert Wilders launched his verbal attacks on East Europeans.
He's a true populist. He doesn't propose any solutions, but he puts his finger on the wound, on something that's long been taboo in Dutch society. He's playing on these taboos, and that's met with an emotional response. Labor migration is one of these taboos. The scale of that migration has been a controversial issue here for quite a while already.
For Geert Wilders, the simmering controversy is also an opportunity. He recently launched a website calling on citizens to report what they perceive as harassment from Eastern Europeans. The website ignited a storm of outrage, but he's brushing off his critics.
We are a political party, a parliamentary group. We are not part of the government. We can do what we like, and this website, once again, so many, tens of thousands reactions in a couple of days, is an enormous success. A lot of people are very positive about it. You won't believe it if you look at all the criticism, but there is also a lot of support for this website.
An estimated 200,000 Poles have come to the Netherlands since the Dutch labor market was opened to Eastern European states. Many work in agriculture and construction. They're mostly working in jobs that native-born Dutch have scorned. Geert Wilders' campaign against Eastern Europeans is receiving a mixed response.
The website is a bit disrespectful. They're targeting an entire group of people, and that's not right.
I don't understand how people could write these things on the website. It's ridiculous.
Not all Eastern Europeans are alike, of course. There are differences. But we've seen who's become a burden and who hasn't. So yes, I think Geert Wilders is right.
We don't talk about it. We don't agree among ourselves.
Isabella and Marcin have lived in the Netherlands for years, holding jobs and attending university. They say it's become harder here since the economic downturn. Marcin was even turned down for a consumer loan because he's Polish.
The Dutch used to be open to new people, to migrants. But nowadays I hear, we don't want them. They're nothing but trouble. And they should go.
But an increasing number of voices are condemning the trend. They say right-wing populist campaigns against foreigners are harming the country's reputation. The mayor of Breda has written a letter of protest against Geert Wilders.
We are one Europe. We have to stand by one another. When there's a problem, we need to speak out, of course. But these are isolated cases. The idea that an entire group of people are a problem is quite simply not true.
The mayor worries that rising xenophobia will harm his city. Breda is still home to Polish soldiers who liberated the city from German occupation in 1944. Jan Nowinski was a soldier in the Polish 1st Armored Division, formed in exile in Scotland, which helped liberate France, Belgium, and the Netherlands. He's outraged at Geert Wilders' campaign of discrimination.
Dat wordt gauw ook een lapje op je eigen
It is like they are stigmatizing the Poles as a group.
lapje op je rug.
Ik denk dat het in de 30er jaren precies hetzelfde is.
This is exactly how it started in the 1930s.
In een
One group of people became a target, and they were called all sorts of hateful things. First, they were just stripped of their good reputation. And then it got much, much worse.
Slecht daglicht en daarna van kwaad tot erger.
Edita and her family came to the Netherlands in hope of a better future, to enable their son to get a good education. Now they wonder if they should have stayed in Poland.